Out of service? Are we out of service? This sign, out of service, is one that we do not want to see as we drive up to an ATM or a gas pump or a cold drink machine. As one of thousands of congregations which have closed their buildings because of the quarantine, I wonder if we should hang a sign on our front door which says, out of service. Paul, in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 14 and 15, says that we should not. Paul wrote, "And we exhort you, brethren, admonish the idle, encourage the faint-hearted, help the weak, be patient with them all. See that none of you repays evil for evil, but always seek to do good to one another and to all." If we are not out of service, what services do we provide? One service that we provide is warning those who are out of step. As Christians, we are to provide warning to our brethren who are out of step with Jesus. The word unruly means disorderly or out of ranks. And it may go so far as to mean those who have quit the ranks. When we see our brethren walking in a way that is out of step with the brotherhood, whether it is moral or doctrinal, we are to warn them of the consequences of their actions. Christianity is not a self-centered lifestyle. It is a lifestyle that is dedicated to one's spiritual family. It is one that is focused on others and trying to help them get to heaven. We don't love family when we let them break ranks, when we let them walk in an unruly way. We don't love them when we allow them to head towards sin and not give them any warning. We're to admonish them as a brother or a sister in order to keep them from falling out of the ranks completely. We are to look out for one another and help one another. We are to help those who are out of heart, who've lost heart. Comfort is a service that we are to provide to others. We know that God is the God of all comfort. He gives us comfort through His Word, and then we are to give that same comfort to others. A particular group in need of comfort is the group that is faint-hearted. This group of people is on the verge of giving up because of the pressures of life. So much goes on that beats on the Christian, that wears us down. This individual is one who's been beaten on and he's about to give up. Paul encouraged the Christians not to faint. We need to be on the lookout for those who are giving up because they are despondent. This is a person who is not giving in to sin, but giving up because of spiritual fatigue. Soldiers were sometimes sent to the rear because of combat fatigue. They'd been on the front lines fighting for a long time, and they were physically and mentally exhausted. We can get that way spiritually if we are not careful. We know that Jesus would go away and be by himself from time to time. This life can take a toll on us. Constant harassment, temptation all around us, physical illness, all of these can cause spiritual fatigue, and we need to be on the lookout for our brethren who are showing signs of this. It may be that this person is going through tough times physically and they miss services a few times. This person needs a visit or a call. This person needs comfort. It could be a difficult family situation that has arisen, and the person is not as involved as he once was. We may be tiring and in need of encouragement. We also are in service by strengthening those who are out of strength. The picture that we get here is holding up someone who is weak in the faith. We've all seen someone who is limping, others come and put their arms around him and help him to a seat, and that's the idea. We're holding to someone who is hurting and weak. Spiritually speaking, this weak person has a lack of faith. They are questioning what is lawful, perhaps what is not lawful. Sometimes we can be very hard on our own brethren. We may say things like, well, he should know better than that. We chastise them for their weakness instead of holding them up until they strengthen. Too many times we don't give our brethren the benefit of the doubt. We turn our backs on them and we're upset with them for their weakness. We should rather go to them and try to help them hold their heads above water until their faith is increased. And then also, when I think of the service that we render, we seek to bring the gospel to those outside of Christ. There are doors of opportunity, and they have to be opened in order for us to bring the gospel into someone. Paul tells us that evangelism begins long before a Bible study ever begins. We are first patient with all. We're to be long suffering with all men. We bear the insults or offenses that are aimed at us. We don't give back evil when it is given to us. Remember the story of the Good Samaritan who helped someone who hated him. If he had been in good health, he would not have accepted help from the Samaritan. But because of his situation, the Samaritan helped him, gave him lodging, gave his own funds to help with whatever the man needed. We don't give back evil when it is given to us. We respond with good. When we talk about not giving back evil when it is given to us, we know that we are not to have a quick temper. James reminds us, let every man be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. Vengeance is not ours, and it ruins any effort we make to try to evangelize someone. Paul makes sure that he writes that we are to treat one another this way as well. A lot of times we'll put up with slights from those in the world much better than we do from those who are our own brethren. We need to treat each other with respect and concern as well as the world. We don't fire back at a brother any more than we would one who is outside of Christ. We are to follow or live for that which is good. And the only way to overcome evil is by doing good. And when we provide this service to others, it opens the door for Bible studies and hopefully even conversions. Are we out of service? Not by a long shot. Thank you for listening today. God bless.